I give him acting lessons. It's just $50 a shot, and and he teaches me. I got some basketball moves you wouldn't believe.
Okay, are we ready?
Well, I can't
All
say
right,
it on the
gentlemen, we are rolling.
Oh.
This is it. This is the big show here.
This is it?
Yeah.
No, that's what they said in the other room.
No, but I believe this here. I'm not gonna mess with people in Dallas. I got too many people down there that need something from me down there.
Oh, really? Tell me about it.
No, I know a lot of folks down in Texas. As a matter of fact, I've been mostly in Houston. I've been hunting down there a couple times.
Ah.
J.R. Robertson, not the same J.R., but another fellow. Lives out in River Oaks. You ever been to his house out there? No, I know you haven't, but I have.
Listen, I want to find out something about Hill Street Blues because what little bit I know about it, it occurs to me that maybe this could be the MASH of police series. You think?
It's a great compliment.
Well, that would be terrific, wouldn't it? There are elements, a very strong element, as a matter of fact, with Hill Street Blues and with MASH, in that you're dealing with a group of people who are involved in a stress situation, very high stress situation like police work. Hill Street Blues is a very realistic look at the psychological implications of being a police officer. It takes a look at the personalities and the interpersonal relationships between the policemen on the force. It's very hard-hitting, and at the same time, it's probably has some of the best comedy I think you're ever going to see on television. I know that's true for Mike. Some of the best comedy I've ever seen, mostly off the screen, but he's very good.
How do you think?
We have, excuse me for interrupting, but we have just some fantastic characters as MASH has. We have a character played by Bruce Weitz. His name is Mick Belker. He's the biter. I mean, he is
very violent
man who has bitten a suspect on the ankle. And he tends to do this. He likes to do this.
He also
he rolls around on the floor a lot. Is that what
well,
you're
he
saying?
also
and he growls. And
he also bit a man's nose off in the heat of an arrest one time. So that's why they call him Belker the Biter. And they talk to him about it, and he jumps up and says, "One lousy nose, and they call me Biter for life." You know, there's some very colorful characters. Like I said, there's an awful lot of them on this show.
What is your image on the show?
Well,
murky at best.
I'm going to show you these boots here now. I know you people can relate. These are TLs. I can't say the full name, but you can take a look at them. I play an urban cowboy, or a man who believes that that his manifest destiny is to be riding the range, but instead of that, he's riding 450 horsepower police car. I think the character. What I'm trying to do with the character is to explore that particular aspect of a lot of American men now are getting into the cowboy image, and I believe the reason that they're getting into. I know it seems ridiculous to you people out there in Dallas. I know y'all are cowboys, but I'm talking about people up in the north now putting on these boots. Silly as it seems, they're doing it. Anyway, it's what I think it is the cowboy represents a very strong American archetypical character. And I think if a person works a 9-to-5 job, especially a stressful thing, that's the way in which this particular man unloads. He sort of becomes uses that character to hide behind or to have fun with, whichever way you look at it.
How about you, Michael? You wear boots?
No, I don't wear boots. That would affect my speech too much and would cause my friends out there to wonder, where is this guy coming from? No, my character is from this area. Hill Street is in an urban area. I grew up in that area. I know these people. That is why my character is a little more sensitive to them than perhaps maybe some of the other officers, namely Andy Rinko. And a lot of the conflict develops out of my, I won't call it responsibility to them as a police officer, because a policeman.
Your perception, which is much better than mine, really.
Yeah.
In terms of where we're working.
Did your career as an athlete have anything to do at all with your getting this role?
Did anything to do with getting the role? No, I don't think so. I think it helped me in terms of understanding discipline, understanding how to work with others, how to get along with someone who has a massive chest, who fills up the screen as.
You don't need to talk about our girlfriends like that on
I'm
the
sorry.
air.
Yes,
please.
that's right. Oh goodness, my wife is going to be crazy.
No.
No, I don't, it had nothing to do with the actual getting the job. I haven't played basketball since 1968.
Do you want to talk about the trade now?
I
Okay,
don't know if
we didn't
should.
want to let this out, but Mike is being traded to the Pittsburgh Steelers for Lynn Swan. NBC this time. I'm going to be, of course, playing quarterback for the Steelers next fall because Bradshaw is coming over here to follow in the great tradition of Joe Namath here on NBC. But we thought that we...
I didn't say that, Joe.
Joe,
Hayes, you know
Joe,
what I
your
mean?
knees are bad. And it's fine. But I do think it's interesting, the athlete as actor. And I do think there is... An athlete is a performer in a certain sense. They have a very large audience to see what they're doing. I'm not trying to offend any athletes, especially any interior linemen from the NFL. Please, I'm not insulting anybody. But I do believe there is a correlation. And there have been some very, very good transitions from athletics to acting. And there have been, Ball 4. So, which was a show a few years ago. So, I mean, there's...
I would just like to interject, though. I really did not come from athletics into acting. I think in terms of an athlete going from athletics to acting, being a professional athlete. I never played professional basketball.
He came from
I
being
majored
a waiter.
in theater arts in college. Oh, waiter. Well, that was around the corner yesterday before. Yeah.
Before he came here.
But, I mean, I'd like to get serious because that is a serious point with me. I like to be thought upon as an actor and not a person who came from one field seeking the same sorts of fame, celebrity, et cetera, and consequently he comes into acting. I've been in the business 10, 11 years, and so it wasn't something that just was a smooth transition.
Didn't just happen.
No.
Hey, we're out of time. But good to talk with both of you, and I hope Hill Street Blues is a big hit for you. And if it has this much of the success of MASH, you're going to be okay.
Y'all watch now, yeah?
Collars that need fixing or hairs that need anything?
I'm gonna move just a hair.
Wow. Wow.
Now I'm right about here.
Yeah.
Is that all right?
Sure.
I just have no more back.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Do we have speed? It's all up to you.
All right. So these are the Claude Akins, Nell Carter questions. Claude, were you in favor of Sheriff Lobo moving to Atlanta? Now, what's it like being the new kid on the set? Now, what is the relationship then between your two characters?
Okay. And little son? Oh. Kill that back one. You can stop.
Got speed?
Okay.
Claude, were you in favor of Sheriff Lobo moving to Atlanta? What's it like being the new kid on the set? What is the relationship between your two characters? Offset, what kind of relationship do you have? Now, you're known mostly for your stage work. Let's see, Jesus Christ Superstar. You got a Tony for Ain't Misbehavin'. Let me start over again. Okay. Now, you're known mostly for your stage work. You got a Tony for Ain't Misbehavin'. You were in Hair, Jesus Christ Superstar. Now, this is an entirely different kind of work and different lifestyle. Okay. Claude, do you all save your funny outtakes? Okay. Everything looking all right? Perfect. All right. We'll go on then. These are the Cloris Leachman questions. Cloris, have you ever, or would you even consider writing a letter to Dear Abby or Ann Landers? If you ever did write a letter to a columnist for advice, what might the problem be? What kind of problem would you ever take to a columnist? No, Cloris, you're the kind who goes on the Johnny Carson show and tells the whole world. Okay. When you were working, no. How did working with the handicapped children in the Acorn People affect you? Of course, I know people who have described you as being a fantastic actress, but a flaky person. Are you flaky? Of course, are you good in the kitchen? You have you have 5 children. Now, no matter how great they are, they got to get on your nerves at times. What do they do that drive you up the wall? Do your 5 kids ever just drive you right up the wall? Is Mary Tyler Moore like that in real life? Okay, Cloris, if I said, I've got a headache and I feel like hell, what would you do? What would you say? Okay. These are the Howard Duff, Christina Raines questions.
Okay, you use the Fern as a girl.
Oh, okay.
And Ed will be Howard.
All right. Christina, do you feel any more pressured being the star of this series? Do you feel any pressure because of Joan Crawford having played the role originally in the 1949 movie? Did you ever see Joan Crawford in that movie? Howard, the critics are already comparing Flamingo Road to JR and Dallas. Dallas and Flamingo Road are being called nighttime soap operas. Do you resent that? Why do you think audiences are so involved and so crazy about the series Dallas? You think it's because people like a story where there are lots of people and they feel like they get to know them, like the people of their town, for instance? Howard, you've been in the business Howard, you have been in the business a long time. I think we could call you a survivor. Why do you think you have this survivor instinct? Have you ever had low periods in your life? When you have these low periods, what is it that keeps you going? Christina, how do you deal with low periods? Okay. These are the Michael Warren, Charles Haid questions from Hill Street Blues. Some people are already saying that Hill Street Blues could be for police officers what MASH is for the military. Charles, you wear boots. Does that have anything to do with your character? You wear boots off screen as well? Okay. Charles, do you wear boots off screen as well? Michael, people will remember you as a super basketball player in 68, 69, along in there someplace. Does being an athlete have anything to do with your being an actor? Michael, what are your feelings about athletes who turn to acting? How do you think, generally speaking, athletes who turn to acting are perceived? Okay. Bo Svenson questions? Bo, when you were doing North Dallas 40, you were so wonderful in that movie. Did you ever think that you might like to be a pro football player? Was there ever a time when you thought, was there ever a time when you thought you might like to be a pro football player? Okay, Bo, there have been 3 walking talls. You've been associated with a couple of them. Straighten all that out for us. Will Sheriff Pusser be the same in the TV series as he was in the movies? Did you ever meet the real Sheriff Pusser? Do you believe Sheriff Pusser's death was an accident, or do you think there might have been some sabotage involved? Do you think Southerners are going to like the way they'll be Do you think Southerners are going to like the way they'll be portrayed in Walking Tall? Okay. These are the Jay Garner questions for Buck Rogers. Jay, you are known for playing political figures. You've played LBJ, Nixon. When you played the political figures, LBJ, Lester Maddox, Nixon, did you try to emulate them? How did your LBJ sound? In other words, you went from the Pedernales to outer space. Well, I was going to ask you to do Nixon, but I think we better stop while we're ahead. These are the Gil Gerard questions. Gil, you're going into your 2nd season as Buck Rogers. Do you have any regrets? Does a sci-fi series like Buck Rogers have different problems from, say, a contemporary sitcom?